They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by the City of Stanford, Kentucky. Come back home to Stanford. L81 Bottling Company. Taste, love, and share the tradition. Woods Equipment Company has every tool you need to make working the land as rewarding as hunting it. Good Foods Co-op, Marksbury Farm Market, Weisenberger Mill, your village shop.
Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen, the outdoors edition. So, you know what, I'm going to classify this under cowboy cooking. We're not riding horses today or anything like that, but it is outdoors cooking. So we're going to say if cowboys had a box like this, they would have used it. Now, a couple years ago, Andrew Zimmern came in here, and he's always got new stuff. We took him squirrel hunting and made burgoo out of several different wild critters. Now, I saw him recently talking to someone in Miami. Now, I love to cook a pig on my various equipment. Cooking it like this is not nearly so lengthy. When you're in Hawaii, you go to a luau, they cook it in the ground. It takes it a long time. Anytime you would cook a pig in the ground, you're talking 12 to 24 hours, depending on how they do it. Today, 50 to 100 pound pig, 4 hours. A simple marinade. And man, oh man, the essence of the pig today on Cuban cowboy cooking. Now there's some guys in Miami that had this idea from Chinatown in Cuba. It's called La Caja China. It's a box, a hot box that cooks this stuff. Remember the turkey that we did? Do you remember the trash can turkey? 90 minutes we had a 12-pound turkey cooked. Convection, charcoal, the exact opposite of that. 4 hours we can cook a whole pig. Now, we're gonna have a temperature gauge in this animal while it's cooking so we make sure we get that internal temperature up to 175 or so before we flip it. We're gonna put a little dry rub on the outside of it. This is my homemade dry rub. A little dry rub on the outside. You don't want this animal wet. Turn it back over, inject it with a simple marinade. 2 parts orange juice, 1 part pineapple juice, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and a bunch of fresh garlic, which we're gonna mash up here. We'll make this simple marinade. You put it in a little cage, clamp it down so you can turn it over. So what we're gonna do is basically strain the solid parts out of the juice. So we're gonna do 2-3 shots after we strain it and get the solid parts out. Now save those solid parts because you're gonna want that to go loosely on the top side of the pig. 3 shots in the hams, a couple in the shoulders, and you are good to go. At that point, we're gonna put more dry rub around on him and he'll be ready to go. Now, we're gonna take this guy, take this rack, set it down inside the box. When we get him in there, again, belly side up. Now I'm gonna stick my thermometer down in there, the deepest part of that ham. I'm gonna rig that to come up here and go underneath of that. All right, now how cool is this that the directions are on the side of the box? You can't mess this up. Our pig is definitely over 50 pounds. So what we're gonna do is start out with 16 pounds of charcoal in the beginning. I use self-light because it's so simple and we're not actually cooking food over the charcoal. We're just using the heat from the charcoal. And I'm not going to start counting my first hour until it gets nice and white and I know it's ready to go. Now, most of the time when you see us do a recipe, it's something we've already done. This is an experiment for you to see. It'll unfold right before your eyes. Let's see how it does. I'm hoping this is as magic as I think it is. Because can you imagine cooking a whole pig in 4 hours? I can imagine it. In fact, I'm thinking about it. After 1 hour, you add 8 more pounds to the existing charcoal. All right, it's been an hour. The smells coming out of this thing is tremendous. 8 pounds. The smell is heavenly. We're almost up to 100 degrees already in the first hour. We're gonna go play with the puppies now. Millie and Major are getting huge. They're gonna have their first solid meal tonight. All right, we have whiny Millie and Major out here.
He's sleeping.
I think he just got home from work. What do you think about the smell of that?
It smells delicious.
Ooh, let's have some of this over. Let's see if this stops the whining. This is their first,
Some puppy food.
this is the first solid food that they're gonna have. So you took some milk,
Some dry milk.
some dry milk. Let's see what happens. They say, you know, we've had puppies before, and they're gonna be bathed in this stuff, so let's see what happens here. Want some, guys? Yeah.
What's it?
You know, the whining stopped.
Yeah.
Now, they've been wearing their poor mommy out. Oh, no!
Is it good?
That's good, isn't it? We also have a situation where we have a sheep out there getting ready.
Yeah, babies.
Mama Mia's getting ready to have babies. Oh, it's terrible. Well, guys, what'd you think about your first meal? Was that good? Was that good? She's kind of whiny, but she's a sweet baby. What about you, Major? You want to go back and see your mommy? You want to go back and see your mommy?
You smell like puppy food.
Thank you so much for helping out with the names. I think those are the perfect names. He's like a major. See, he's marked like a major.
Yes, he is.
And she is Whiny Millie.
Whiny Millie.
And they've had their first food. You want some more? You want some more, Major? After the half hour, you're going to put 10 pounds on. After that last half hour, dispose of the ashes, turn the pig over, then you score the skin and let him go for about a half hour until you get him just like you want it. Look at this guy.
Looks good.
See that right there?
Wow.
That's when you know it's done. That skin is so delicious. We're not going to eat it right now because it makes too much noise. But, wow. Now, one thing we did find out about La Caja China is it should take 4 hours. Now, this is a bigger pig. Because it was cool, you might have to put a little more charcoal on it and let it cook a little bit longer.
You did good.
But look at that. That's the color you want. That's the texture you want. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. The only thing is, the guy I got the pig from asked for a small pig. He gave me a big pig. So I invited some of my friends over.
You did.
To let them be the guinea pigs.
Good idea.
And let's chow. How about that? Come on in, guys.
That's good. Crunchy.
I'm going in this loin here. Look at that.
There's some more skin. Mmm. That's like the best. The skin's the best.
All right, we started with a big pig. We ended up with a depleted pig. Look at him. What was your immediate thought process when you looked at the pig and then when you tried it?
Look delicious and taste amazing. Better than anything I've
What
ever
about
tasted.
what about the skin?
That's the best ever. That's better than anything.
Chicharroni, I think they call it.
Chicharroni? I like it.
I'm telling you what. Now, I did make one observation about this. Now, again, this is the first time we've used it. You came along for our voyage here. If it's cooler, which it was, you're going to have to use a little more charcoal and let it go a little longer. And it was a little bigger pig, too. If you have your meat thermometer in there, we had a digital thermometer, so we knew when the meat was about done. Then when you flip it over and you look at the backside, that's a visual. You know when it's nice and brown and you see it crisping up, you know when it's done by looking at it. It's almost the exact same thing as our turkey deal. Remember, it was a 12, 13-pound turkey? 90 minutes?
Yeah.
And this was, I bet you that was a 70-pound pig. And in a little over 4 hours, we got this.
It tastes amazing. It's really, really, really good.
Now, people are probably saying, how much do you pay for your little box? Now, the box has got aluminum on the inside. It's all metal on the inside, obviously, or we'd have a terrible fire here. This costs a little over $300. We had it shipped here. We took it out of 2 separate boxes, fairly heavy, put it together ourselves, easy because it was wing nuts. And I'm telling you what, we had this together in 25 minutes. Let's see how many thumbs up we can get. We're starting Brian. Drew. Only 1 thumb up? Sloan? 2 thumbs up. What do you think?
Excellent. Muy bueno.
Isn't that something? So we're going to leave you with a little bit of music here in just a minute. But now we're going to chow.
All day I face the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Oh, Dan and I with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water, cool, clear water. The nights are cool and I'm a fool. Each star's a pool of water, cool water. But with the dawn I wake and yawn and carry on to water, cool, clear water. Well, it's a moving dad, don't you listen to him, Dad. He's a devil, not a man, and he spreads the burning sands with water. Oh, Dan, can't you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and he's waiting there for you and me? Water, ooh, clear water. The shadows sway and seem to say, tonight we pray for water, cool water. And way up there he'll hear our prayer and show us where there's water, cool, clear water. Well, the keep on moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man, and he spreads the burning sands with water. Oh, Dan, can't you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and he's waiting there for you and me? Water, cool, clear water, cool, clear
Now, a lot of folks have been asking for a dessert recipe. We don't do a whole lot of desserts, but when we do it right. This time, Lois, our old buddy Lois, visited us with a jam cake recipe that is out of this world. Look at who we have in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. It's Lois Ellis. She's back. You know what? Last year, you had a jam cake that you had up for auction, and I think it went for $65 million.
Well, hardly. We
Some
wish.
prince from Saudi Arabia, but it should have because it was so good. What was that event?
The Forkland Festival.
We had the bean dinner. Mm-hmm. This is an old-fashioned recipe that I remember. It was always a fall thing, or towards Christmas that we had our jam cake. Now this is Lois's jam cake. Now this is no easy task to get Lois's recipes. She's only doing this because she likes you guys, right? The Tim Farmer Country Kitchen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now let's talk about this. And first of all, I got to ask you, what are your thoughts when you came in and saw the Country Kitchen?
I like it. I thought it was a nice hangout. Keeps everything out of the house,
It
out of that
does
kitchen.
keep everything out of the house. You're right. But does it take you back looking at the old
Yeah,
stuff?
it takes you way back. The old stove, the old refrigerator.
It still works.
Neat.
All right. Now that we've talked about that, let's get to this jam cake. How are we going to do this?
Okay, we're going to start out with sugar. That would be 2 cups of sugar. And we're going to have 1 cup of butter.
All right.
And we'll mix that. Okay, we're going to put in 5 eggs.
You know they're fresh when you got to get the feathers off of them.
These were probably gathered last night. Get this mixed up really good. Then we'll start putting our wet ingredients in it. And I like to have everything all measured out before I start because it just goes so much better when you do that.
What is that right there?
This is apple butter, 1 cup of apple butter.
Now is that your apple butter?
That's my apple butter.
If you don't have Lois's apple butter, I guess you'll have to go to the store and get some.
And this is a cup of jam.
Blackberry?
Blackberry jam, my jam.
Your jam as well.
It's so thick, it's slowing it down. And this is crushed pineapple, 1 cup of that.
1 cup of pineapple that you picked off Bobby Joe's pineapple tray in the backyard.
Yeah. Now, we've got all the wet ingredients. We're going to start with the dry. And this is 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of allspice, and 1 teaspoon of cloves. And there's 1 cup of crushed nuts in there.
Any kind of nuts?
Well, these are hickory nuts.
Hickory nut. Whoa, wow.
We're all out of pecans. If you remember, my husband did all that nut picking up last year, and
Well, it's a good year for them too, isn't it? I've got so many walnuts, I don't know what to do with them.
and I have a cup of buttermilk here that I alternate. I alternate the flour with the buttermilk, and always start with flour and always end with flour.
Gotcha. Now, is this your recipe or is this handed down?
Oh, this is handed down. This was in the family for years.
No kidding. What do you think about that 1950 mixer?
It's doing a good job. I dare say this is as good as the one I've got.
That's what it's supposed to look like?
That's what it's supposed to look like. We're ready to put it in a pan and in the oven.
Now, this is a 4-layer cake, right?
This is a 4-layer cake.
You're going to put this in the oven. Your oven is preheated to
325.
325. How long do you let it go?
Well, I let it go for 30 minutes and then I check it, and usually it's ready to come out at that time.
All right, now you're going to need some cake pans. Do you grease your cake pans?
Uh-huh.
What do you put in them?
I spray them with a...
Spray 'em. So this was something your mother did, and maybe your grandmother as well?
My mother was the cake baker at our house.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she even baked for my grandmother. And I guess that's why I like to do it, because I saw her bake so many, and she did such a good job, and everybody loved her jam cake.
Now, to me, that would make a good soup. I just eat it just like that. It smells wonderful. 4 pans.
4 pans, 4 greased pans. Okay, so let's start filling these 4 pans.
Okay.
And do it as evenly as you can, but you're going to stack them, and it doesn't matter if they all turn out.
All right, now we're getting to the final stages here.
Good
the
part.
icing. How's that work? Got a stick of butter in here. You want me to turn it on and get it going for you?
I'm going to put a cup of cream in there with the butter.
All right.
Then I'm going to put 2 cups of brown sugar in there with a 1/4 cup of white sugar.
No calories.
None whatsoever in this cake. And we'll get that to boiling, and we'll boil it for 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Let me crank it up just a little bit for you.
Okay.
So we're getting close here.
Yeah, we are.
So that's your wet stuff.
We're going to take this off and let it cool down for just a little bit
All right.
so that it'll quit boiling.
Oh, it looks like caramel. Who in your family likes your jam cake the most?
You know, honestly, my family's not much on it.
What?
They'd rather have chocolate, strawberry, white coconut.
I'm gonna have to talk with them. Now, how much confectioner sugar was that right there?
That was 2 cups of
2
confectioner
cups of
sugar.
confectioner sugar. Oh man, talking about rich and creamy. All right, we have got our 4 layers out. You didn't see that, did you?
No, but I figure I know what happened.
No, mine is good. Oh man.
Used to make them all for the Forkland Christmas dinner, and
Jam cake. I love jam cake. I love Lois's jam cake. I want to jam all this jam cake into my mouth and not share.
Timmy, this is your conscience. You need to share the jam cake with others.
All right, now I got to get me a big hunk of icing. You know that. With 0 calories, it's amazing how you do that. Oh my. That brings me back to being a kid in Christmas time. That was just part of Christmas. You have to take that with you. Does that?
no, I'm not going to take it with me.
Because it's probably way too much, and you don't want the back of your car all messed up, because it could fall over. Thank you so much for coming out to the cabin.
You're welcome.
Finally coming and seeing us.
We enjoyed it. We enjoyed
This
it a lot.
is the best jam cake in the world. If you want to try it, you can, but you can't have this one because it's mine. Check out our Facebook page. Make sure you like it. Become our friends. See where we're going, what we're doing. We have the best friends in the world on the Performance Country Kitchen. And if you see these recipes and think, ooh, I'd like to try that, well, guess what? Hundreds and hundreds of recipes.
Right.
Now, we have a show that's been on the air for 4 years, and we do more shows than most people. So there's a lot of recipes out there. TimFarmersCountryKitchen.com. Click on recipes or click on shows that you haven't seen before. Well, you know what? If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, the whole concept, I mean, just look, and cooking it in that amount of time. So 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 12.5.
I'd say 13. It's good. It's really good.
It's really good. And this is the unfortunate part of the show where we have to leave you and say goodbye. But it is all about
Good times.
good friends.
Good eats.
I'm talking about.
To order a cookbook or DVD of the show, please call 502-319-0487 or email timfarmerck@gmail.com. Special thanks to Furniture World Superstore, Housewarmings, Lodge Cast Iron, Tater Knob Pottery and Farm. Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Diamond Gusset Jeans, the original Gusset Jean. Careful craftsmanship, continual improvement. Diamond Gusset Jeans, born and worn in the USA since 1987.
So, Jill, I know the markets have taken a hit lately. Just wanted to touch base.
How did Edward Jones come to manage over $800 billion in assets?
Here's our latest market outlook. There are two things that I'd like to point out.
So that's interesting. You know, we had spoken about that before.
Through FaceTime when you really need it. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.